Welcome back, True Seeker. Friday, February 4th, there were news headlines everywhere about the killing of AMIR LOCKE in Minneapolis. And everyone saw the same footage that began with the time 6:48. And of course, that number is a mirror of 8:46. And you'll recall there was a big deal made about the 8 minutes and 46 seconds that Derek Chauvin was supposedly on George Floyd's neck. Interestingly enough, the Sun also set at 8:46 in Minneapolis the day of the George Floyd killing. But 8:46 is 6:48 in reverse, in a mirror. And the name of the man supposedly killed in the video that starts at 6:48, his name is AMIR, which sounds like a mirror. And then not to mention his surname is Locke. And the theme of the video is the danger of no-knock warrants. So when the police bust through the lock. So AMIR LOCKE, 6:48. If you have not read my book, Number Games, which has a chapter on the George Floyd killing by the numbers, it's stories like this that prove the point. We are being played with and by the numbers. And again, if you are new here, gematria, the practice of coding numbers into words. The most pure cipher is the alphabetic order with the rules of numerology, and for years I've educated about the encoding of 42 in stories just like this, these racially divisive stories, why they code 42 again and again. Notice in gematria, AMIR LOCKE equals 42, body camera, it's body camera footage 42, February 42. They've done this many a times over the years. This is nothing new. And again, it's because 42 is a biblical number. The 42 generations to Jesus, where the only physical description left of him in the Bible is that's at least of a man who's at least partly of African ancestry. Again, this number stamped all over Black history. February, Black History Month 42. This news becomes the story on Friday 4/2, the anniversary of Rosa Parks' birthday, a big part of Black history. The woman who rode on the bus, another word that equals 42. Remember after the killing of Michael Brown, which jumped off Black Lives Matter in Ferguson, Missouri, where both Ferguson and Missouri equal 42, they had to put out the first image of the supposed killer, Darren Wilson, and they showed this image, him with a blue shirt with the number 42 on it. Again, True Seeker, you pay attention to the numbers, you pay attention to the encoding of the words, you see the sick jokes that are being waged. And with regards to George Floyd in 8:46, remember prior to the George Floyd news, the outrage was over what happened in Georgia with Ahmaud Arbery. And then it went to George Floyd in Minneapolis, the 612 area code. And then on June 12th, 612, it went back to Georgia with the killing of Rashard Brooks. And then the next day, June 13th, the Wendy's burned. And now the George Floyd trial is going to start on June 13th later this year, 2022. With regards to all the George, remember it's the Jesuits that are behind the calendar and the language that are all synced up. And it's been this way since the 16th century. And when you go through history with this knowledge, you can see how history has been contrived this way. Well, the first Jesuit university in this nation is Georgetown, named after the slave owner, George Washington. And notice there are other ciphers. When you run the alphabetic order in reverse, the rules of numerology, Georgetown is 42 like Jesuit. When you run the alphabetic order in reverse with the Sumerian cipher, where you multiply the alphabetic order times 6, Georgetown is also 846. The big number associated with George Floyd. And again, we just talked about how Keith Ellis is behind the George Floyd ritual and now the AMIR LOCKE ritual, and he's Jesuit educated. It's the Attorney General there in Minnesota whose office we called yesterday. And if you missed that phone call, you might want to watch that video and give him a call yourself, because the more people calling these people out, the less likely they are to do this again. And we need these people to stop doing this, because all this does is divide the people of the world. But again, pay attention and you'll see how they're playing games with us. A mirror of 846 in the AMIR LOCKE No knock warrant video. Just think about it. Till next time, Truth Seeker.